with Dragon here, and
Hi everyone.
we're in the game Fantasy Star Online too. I got this little guy with blue hair, and he has like a little shiny, he's like ultimate mode or whatever. Um, and um, we are here to talk about the Pokemon Presents that came out today. Um, so let's start with the first segment, really. Pokemon trading card. The trading card segment. Like, I'm gonna say my view, and then you can say what you want to say. But personally, um, I could care less. And 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 really, what I saw is it looked like they were going to re-release cards like the older cards because they're kind of harder to get. So I felt like in a way they were like possibly making the old value ones not worth as much, maybe. Which is fine, honestly. Um, there's a lot of people that are collecting video games, and yes, there's game preservation, but they're collecting it and then they're re-releasing those games to the new public so they can play it, which is wonderful. Um, but the game collectors, it's really ruining the price of their collection since it's more available. Um, but I mean, to be honest, like to a collector, they're just trying to make money. But if they make the game more available for other people to play, like ultimately sharing a wonderful experience, something that probably means something to you, is probably more um, worth it. So, game preservation, I'm all for it. I think that it's a great thing to have really an easier way to access games without illegal means, I should say. um, so, what was your feel about the Pokemon Presents Dragon, like the trading card option?
um, uh, I thought the trading card thing was pretty cool. Um, Even though I imagine like a lot of people out there, I don't really know how to play the trading card game. Even though I've got like a bunch of cards, so.
I think a bunch of cards is a good number for everybody to just say. I don't think I would be. I don't think I know a single person. Like there might be a person I know that like knows the exact number of Pokemon cards they have, and kudos for you if you do. Um, I didn't have Pokemon cards when I was younger, but oh my goodness, I can't imagine opening pack after pack and I mean like, yeah, I have 1,434 Pokemon cards because I counted every single one of them. Um,
Mhm.
but there's people like that. Um,
Yeah.
I honestly thought that the Pokemon Presents, like the way they showed the classic, it was like almost like a Yu-Gi-Oh type of scenario where they're like, oh, look how cool this is. Look, I can count my energy levels in these tens, and we're trying to make this epic, but it just looked
Mhm.
so overplayed, and I mean,
Yeah.
in reality, like as cool as it looked, which it didn't even look cool, but as it looked, it didn't look like I can't imagine going up to a friend of mine and being like, "Hey, you want to sit down at a table in public and bring out this like black form case and bring out cards that are probably worth like $40 to $60 each and then play Cause in an area that I'm from, there's a lot of wind, you know. And so you really can't play outside, and then playing inside, like you would have to go somewhere
Yeah.
to really do that. And then even then, there's people that may think you're stealing the cards if you go to a card shop. Maybe I don't know. Maybe they won't, but in the end, you're looking kind of like a snob and like, oh, look, you have money because you got the Pokemon Classic set. Um,
Mhm.
like I don't know. I to me, it's they're trying to make it like a higher class. It looked like they were trying to make it like a higher class sporting event, like if it was like somehow chess or something. Um,
Mhm.
but yeah, I think it was overdone. Um, so you said your thing, I said my thing about that. Okay, let's go on and talk about um Pokemon Unite. So how did you feel personally about Pokemon Unite and what they're doing?
Um, I mean, one, I think it's cool that they've managed to stay alive for 2.5 years. Um, I will say I find it's a bit odd that they're adding Zacian to the game. Like, um, okay, it's been a while since I played Pokemon Unite, so I don't know if there are any other legendaries in the game. I know there's Zeraora, but Zeraora is a mythical Pokemon and not a legendary. Which, I mean, either way, and um, like I'm sure there's some sort of balancing going on to make it so the legendaries and mythicals in the game don't feel overpowered. But just I don't know. I think it's overall weird to have legendaries and mythicals in the game in the first place. It's like I don't know,
I
just something about it just feels off to me. I
yeah,
don't know why.
I would agree since you have Pokemon like Jigglypuff or Wigglypuff and you do have evolutions, but like putting legendaries in there is kind of weird. And because like in but to be honest, they do have legendaries. They have like I think they have Hoopa. Um, I think they have the first five Pokemon they had if you got the game on like day one, you got Zeraora or something like that, the lightning
Yeah,
cat thing. So that's a legendary, isn't it? Or is that a mythical?
I I think technically Zeraora is a mythical, but yeah.
Mm. Um, but yeah, no. Point is though, is that like there's that and they have like Zapdos as like the boss thing. I do feel like the Sword and Shield legendary should have been more like a special event boss maybe
Yeah,
or like a
yeah, because I remember back when Robo and I played it semi regularly, they did have one special map where you got to fight Regigigas. But uh, that was like a limited time thing, and I don't know if he's still in the game or not. And so,
yeah.
yeah, I feel like at least, not saying having legendaries and mythicals being playable in the game is a bad thing, but I feel like they're better utilized as in-game like challenges, like with Zapdos or Regigigas or something like along those lines.
Yeah. So there's that. There is that cool Dragonair with the boxing gloves though. I will have to admit that is kind of a cool skin. But to be honest, um Pokemon Unite, they have like $28 skins. They have $40 skins and it's ridiculous for honestly what it is. People have said it time and time again about the microtransactions with that. And are they cosmetic?
Yeah,
Yeah. But like at the same time, it's just it's just a lot. And um
yeah. Like, for real, guys. Is there is a hollow weird for what was it, Mr. Mime? That's
yes.
like putting him in a tuxedo, and that's literally 40 real life US dollars.
Yeah.
And it is just stupid that they're
Yeah,
charging
it's
that
it's
much.
it's just gold. It's like saying, "Hey, kid, you're poor, and so I'm gonna flex on you with my gold Mr. Mime skin." 'Cause I think it's funny to show this kid that's never going to get that skin unless he gets a job. Because I don't think anyone. I don't know the kid that's going to get a gold Mr. Mime skin who doesn't have a job, but man,
Mm-hmm.
I mean, they must be eating gushers and fruit roll-ups and all the snack foods that are great.
Mm-hmm.
He's the friend that I would be wanting to come over and just eat all his food when I was younger. Oh my goodness.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, no. So there's that. So Pokemon EX Masters. So I've never played the game, but it was kind of weird to hear Sword and Shield characters have English voices. Now they did have like an animation called like Twilight, Pokemon Twilight, where like Nisa and a few people had voices like Leon and stuff like that. But it was weird to hear Hop and Marine have different voices. I don't even know if Marine was in Pokemon Twilight, but the
I don't think
idea.
I don't think Marnie was. Um,
Oh, maybe her name's Marnie,
yeah, her name's Marnie.
but the idea is that it was just it felt weird because like it's the Pokemon Company and those voice actors are not hard to get. Like I think it's like Johnny. You can correct me if I'm wrong, but I think it's like Johnny on Vosh that did um, Hop. Like, and he's, I mean, he's in everything. So I don't know what would make him not want to do Pokemon, or if they even asked him, because they couldn't have asked him to do that many lines. It's like a mobile game, so
Yeah.
there's that. Um, so yeah, I mean, what were your thoughts about Pokemon X Masters?
Um, I don't know. It was cool that they were adding. Um, I thought it was cool that they were adding Sword and Shield characters to it. Um, Not sure how I feel about Hop, Beat, and Marty having the legendary bird Singeller as their partners. I thought that was kind of weird.
Oh, I didn't
Um,
even notice that. I didn't. I did not notice. I did not care. Um, I
yeah,
think
but
I was paying attention to their outfits way more.
yeah. Mm.
Sorry for interrupting. It's late, guys.
Oh, you're
Guys and
fine.
girls. Um, but that's pretty much what you were gonna say about Pokemon
Yes.
X.
Yeah, I just felt kind of meh about it.
Okay, so let's lead into Pokemon Go. So it is kind of cool that they are adding Gimme Ghoul and roaming Gimme Ghoul to Pokemon Go. I don't know anyone that still plays Pokemon Go besides like a few people. I'm
Yeah.
sure it's still a thing. Um, but Personally, man, it sounds like we need Pokemon Sleep, which is our next
Mm,
segment. Um,
hmm.
but
After getting teased about it, like, what was it, 5 years ago?
yeah,
When they
we're
first
almost
teased it.
yeah, we're almost there though. Well, let me finish with the Pokemon Go. But like, yeah, Pokemon Go, you're gonna be able to transfer your Pokemon um to Violet and Scarlet soon. So if you got any shinies, that way you can transfer it there relatively soon. They say early 2023, but it's already almost March. So we're already 25% through the year. So I don't know what early to them is. Maybe early to them is like the first half of the year. But I feel like that's a little more than early. Then you can one day pass half the year and you're like the late part of the year. Like you can't. There's no middle. There's no like the middle of the year then. So personally to me, I feel like this has to happen relatively soon, or they're just saying soon without any real context.
Yeah.
Um, Okay, so since we're both tired, let's go into Pokemon Sleep. So, yeah, first this time I'll let you talk about Pokemon Sleep and your thoughts first.
I think it's really cute. Like, yeah, getting like, um, I'm not sure if you have to have the app. Like, they didn't spec. I don't think they specified if you have to have the app on the entire night. Right? Which, if you do, that would be kind of weird. And unless you have your phone on the charger all night, which I usually do. Ooh, I usually just put it on the charger and let it charge overnight. Yeah, I think it's really cool how, like, they talked about how different Pokemon have different sleep styles, and like, you might get to see a unique Pokemon gathering around Snorlax that come around while you sleep.
It
Um,
sounds so. I'm gonna be honest. I have to cut you off. It sounds so weird, being like you're going to sleep and there's Pokemon. They're gathering around you. They're gonna like eat your foot, or they're gonna just gnaw on your hand while you're asleep. You're gonna wake up, you're not gonna have a hand. Jeez. Um, what do you do if you try and get up and the freaking Totodile's right next to you? Like, do you respect the Totodile or do you get up? Like, you know. Yeah, sorry for cutting you off. I just had to say that part.
No, that I pretty much said my piece.
Oh,
So,
okay, this is what I'm gonna say. Pokemon Asleep was announced 5 years ago, and I've been joking every single present that Pokemon Sleep was gonna be the next thing they were gonna talk about. Everyone made memes and jokes about it. They were like, "Pokemon Go Home Sleep." Like go home to sleep. They're like Pokemon, you're drunk. Uh, but no, I agree. Uh, that it's weird. It's just kind of weird to me. They're like they in the video they were like picturing that you would be able like the way they presented it. It just seemed like they got up in the morning and then there was a bunch of digital Pokemon that were just all around. Where in reality, that's not going to be how it is. There's no way that I'm going to get out and there's going to be a giant hologram of Slowpoke that's just in my yard for whatever reason. and And like my maybe my app will be able to like argument reality. But then I have to get my phone out and I gotta pull like I have to do a lot more work. Which maybe will be the fun of the app if that's how it is, or maybe they just did it for commercialization. But um, I also saw the little gadget, like the Pokemon Go Plus Plus, um,
Mm-hmm.
and I love and hashtag don't love like with Nintendo Directs. At least they're upfront about their prices mostly. I think the Pokemon Go Plus right now, not the Plus Plus, but the Plus is like $60. So I can only imagine that the Pokemon Go Plus Plus is going to be somewhere between 60 and maybe $100. And it's just a little device. It's a Pokeball and Pikachu's inside of it, and it wakes you up in the morning or something like that, and it sings you lullaby. You can make it sing you lullabies. Um, and it's a cute little gift. It's something that you could give somebody for their birthday. Be like, hey, you know what? Um, maybe you have a Pikachu and you want to pretend that this Pikachu is um, waking you up in the morning. So you know what? Here's this little Pokeball, and it's gonna activate. I know that there's like Pikachu Build-A-Bears, um, and there's so many different Pikachu things. Actually, there was this YouTuber named Chadtronic, and he just did a toy commercial for Jack Jack Toys, and it's this like little Pikachu that like his little red cheeks they light up, and um I don't know, it looks a little funky, but like I think if you had that and then you also had um the Pokemon Go Plus thing, it would be kind of cute or kind of fun. But other than that, and then there's the ones like at Target and GameStop, the Pikachu's, that are like real soft and fun. But
Yeah.
um, I don't know. I feel kind of. I know it's Pikachu, but I personally don't care too much about Pikachu. Whether it be like, hey, the Pokemons that already have like give me some more options than just Pikachu. I guess if I'm gonna be throwing down $100, give me give me multiple options because I need it to be worth it. Um, so um, yeah, that's what I think about Pokemon Sleep. I think it's been kind of weird that they're showing like skins for games and that they're showing content for games, but they're not really showing any pricing for anything.
Yeah.
Which goes into our next segment. Um, there probably isn't pricing for this, but it is the Pokemon Cafe. It is a little weird because there's this Pokemon named Farcoco, and he is a pepper, and this is Pokemon Cafe. So like, is poor little Farcoco gonna think that he's an ingredient? Like, are they gonna just be like, oh, there's Farcoco, just chop him up in little pieces and throw him into like a frying pan? Like, I don't know. I don't know. It's like poor little Farcoco, and Farcoco's just smiling. He doesn't know what's going on. He's just Farcoco.
Yeah.
But we got that. And the very last segment that I would like to talk about is the Pokemon Sword and not Sword, Violet and Scarlet DLC. Um, oh, wait. I forgot. I can't believe I forgot this. So before the final segment, there's one segment before this. I completely forgot this even happened. The Netflix Conjure Resort preview. Do you wanna talk about it, Dragon? Do you want to tell me your thoughts on it?
Honestly, I thought it was pretty cute. Like seeing little Psyduck walking along the beach. I thought it was cute. I think it's cool that it's gonna be stop motion instead of animated or live action. Um, Not sure how I feel about the little girl model that they used in the preview, but um,
But yeah,
apologies to anyone who happens to hear my brother in the background.
it's all good.
Anyways, aside from the weird look of the girl that they showed in the preview, I thought Pokemon Concierge was pretty cute, and I'm looking forward to it. I'm
Yeah.
looking forward to seeing how that plays out.
Um, I will say I thought it looked poor. Um, I thought that it looked. I was like, Netflix, you have money, and you're getting rid of all these animation projects, and for some reason, I feel like Pokemon might be doing a little bit of a Velma. And what I mean by that is that they're just trying to get something that looks kind of bad, that seems like a bad idea, and they're just like, it'll make people talk about Pokemon, so we don't even care. Like, we're just gonna pay a little money for it, and then we're just gonna get people to talk about Pokemon. It'll be free publicity, but we just do not care. We're just gonna
You
say
think
this.
you think you think they're gonna pull an ugly Sonic on us?
Yeah, I think they're basically pulling an ugly Sonic from the Chip and Dale movie. Hashtag spoilers. But like, um, but just in general, it just doesn't seem like it's. I don't know. It just seems like a bad idea. Everybody makes memes about Netflix and their adaptations and what they do, and it. I will probably watch it, but I will probably regret it. But that is my opinion on that. Um, okay, so last segment, the DLC for Sword and not Sword, Violet and Scarlet. So, so Violet and Scarlet DLC. They show like a festival and they show like some masks. Um, it was kind of weird, and they show that like two different expansion packs, which is gonna be cool because I got the two expansion packs for Sword and Shield, and those were super
Mhm.
fun.
Yeah.
I don't know if they're gonna make it somehow better. But I already know that they're working on quality of life improvements on Violet and Scarlet as of right now. I think there's a new update that improves a lot of things. Um, and so you can go check that out if you have the game. Um, or look at the patch notes. I know they're like up online. They've been up online for like 3 days. But basically, they're improving a lot of the stuff. They're improving things about boxes. They're improving quality of life improvements, fixing glitches. Sword and not Sword, Violet and Scarlet. They are fixing their game, and I think they were waiting to fix their game for like 3 months so then they can announce the DLC and also be like, hey guys, we fixed our game finally. Um, so you should get it now that we fixed it. And hey, look, there's DLC. But I mean, it's already been 3 months, and the internet already got their very strong first impression on it. Like, I feel like Pokemon Arceus only lasted 3 months. I feel like that game came by and went, and people played it, but then people were done. Like, as much as people were like, "Oh, I want to play Pokemon Arceus because it's so cool," like I feel like people did that and they played it and they had fun, but then they were done. Like they no, I don't know anybody that talks about Pokemon Arceus anymore, or even finds it relevant. It was kind of strange for me because like I thought like Pokemon Arceus might have DLC, um, because it was just such a passion project, you know. I thought that maybe that they would do something with it, but I think they're just done. Um, and they kind of linked it to the Brilliant Diamond and Pearl game because like if you able to buy both games, you were able to get like Darkrai and somebody else, I think,
Um,
or
no, I think
Arceus.
Darkrai was. Yeah, I think Darkrai was just a regular um, mystery gift event. Um,
Hmm.
the way it worked with. So if you got Pokemon Legends Arceus and you did all the main story missions, and if you had Brilliant Diamond or Shining Pearl and beat the game, and, and got the national dex, if you go back to your room in Twin Leaf Town,
Mm-hmm.
you would get a special item that would let you get the opportunity to catch Arceus in Brilliant Diamond and Shining Pearl. Which, fun fact for anyone who did not know this, they originally going to do something like this in the original release of Diamond and Pearl back on the DS, but they never actually got to that event.
So this is basically the first time in a mainline game that you're able to get Arceus, and yeah, but
Without
it
hacking.
yeah without hacking, and so like a legitimate way, and yet by the time you got the game in a legitimate way, hardly anybody was playing Brilliant Pearl and Diamond. You know, I think it's funny because like Sword and Shield, they had such a huge battle. I remember their like battle ranking and their competitions. They lasted for like 3 4 years on those battle competitions. Like we just kept getting updates and people
Mm-hmm.
were actively in those competitions. Like people loved that battle system. So when getting Pearl or Brilliant Diamond, I was expecting the same thing, but people did not care about the competitions in that game. Um,
Yeah.
and with Scarlet and Violet, it's almost the same way, but I heard as well as know that like there was a seed for moves, and so if you let's say you were able to use Earthquake, or you were able to use a move that had a low accuracy and it hit, for whatever reason, it would never change your probability. So like if it hit once, it would hit every single time for the rest of eternity because it would never
Mm-hmm.
actually randomize your chances. If it hit, it hit, and then if it missed, it would always miss. So if it
Mm-hmm.
missed, you're you would be missing. You would basically just not have a Pokemon move. You'd be
Hmm.
wasting a turn. It'd be like ice skip type of type of thing. Um, so once again, Scarlet and Violet kind of broken coming out. They fixed a lot of things, but one thing is like they made shinies way too easy to get in that game. Like I ran into a shiny Klefki. Not even trying to. I ran into three shinies trying to get my gym. To they beat all the gyms. Just out in the wild.
Hmm.
And these were Pokemon I had not ever battled. Um, and I'm a
Wait,
lucky person.
is Klefki even in Scarlet and Violet?
Yeah,
Hmm.
it's by the psychic gym leader. Um,
Hmm.
but yeah, I got a gold Klefki. Um, and I was like, "Are you serious? This is the shiny Pokemon I'm gonna get? I've never even seen this one. And I got a stupid gold Klefki, which some people are gonna be like, "Oh, that's cool. He's gold." But like, it's the key Pokemon. Like, is Klefki even useful? Um,
Hmm.
I don't know. I didn't use him. I caught him. Spirit Tome was a pain. I never caught that thing. That thing kept exploding or self-destructing with its cursed hex move, where it would just self-destruct. But basically, it was just terrible. But yeah, so that's the thoughts pretty much on the Pokemon Presents. Is that all the cool stuff probably costs money, and it doesn't tell you how much that money is. They didn't even give us a price for the expansion pack, or if it's going to be sold as a deal together. Oh,
Hmm.
but another thing about the Scarlet thing is there's these two Paradox legendaries that are coming out. That's kind of cool.
Hmm.
So don't sleep on that if you have Pokemon Violet and Scarlet. But other than that, is there any final words that you really wanna say about the Pokemon Presents Dragon?
Um, I will say the little animatronic Pikachu they had in the presents was super cute.
Yeah, it kind of reminded me of the the Pikachu Detective Pikachu.
Yeah.
It was kind of adorable how like the Pikachu was all like Pikachu right before going to another video. Um, Terrible
Yeah.
impersonation, but whatever. But the whole point is that yeah, it just that's just how it was. It just was it was a direct. I know a lot of people were like hoping that for whatever reason that yellow and blue and red were gonna come to the Switch, that there must be some type of mythical Shimigami. There's like some type of mythical person that is saying that this must be the thing that they're waiting for. This is what they're waiting for. And well, it didn't happen. Um,
Mm.
Not to bash on anybody that thought that was gonna happen. Like that, it could have very much happened. Um, but I don't think it's going to. Um, I mean, I don't want to be negative, but I think if anything, if they do bring back red, yellow, and blue, I think that Nintendo will sell them. I think they will sell them for 10, maybe $15. If they charge more than that, I think people are really gonna be upset with Nintendo. But I think they'll
Yeah.
probably sell them and then offer them if they ever do sell them that way. If they ever make them available, I think they want money out of it. I think they want that extra little money. So, um, that's my opinion. That's my final thoughts. Thank you for tuning in. Um, and we'll see you guys next time. So I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Bye. Enter.